Welcome to The Marketing of Business. This is your host, Bonnie Squires. We're brought to you by ACT, the business-to-business newspaper that tells you everything you need to know about attracting clients and keeping clients as far as advertising and communications in the Delaware Valley. And we come to you over 860 on the AM dial. That's WWDB in Bala Cynwyd. Our guest today is Jimmy Owens, who is the Vice President for Business Development at the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society. They're the folks that bring the world-famous Philadelphia Flower Show to us every spring. Hi, Jimmy.
Hi, Bonnie. Thanks for having me.
How did they lure you from New York to Philadelphia?
Buckets of cash, Bonnie.
Right.
Not at all. No.
If I would believe that, you could sell me a bridge, right?
Yeah, exactly. I should be able to if I'm any good at my job. I worked, a bunch of years ago, not too many years ago, but I was with New York Restoration Project in New York, which is a great nonprofit founded by Bette Midler in the mid-'90s, grew to quite a good-sized nonprofit doing community garden work and planting trees in New York. The current president of PHS was leading that nonprofit there for a couple of years. Drew Becker. Yeah.
Right.
So he came here to Philadelphia about 3 years ago, I guess now. And about a year and a half ago, we had started having a conversation about me maybe coming down here. And so it worked. We were at a time in my family, we were ready for a change. We did about 10 years in New York. We were ready to see what's next. And so down we came.
Where are you from originally?
I grew up right outside of Rochester, New York, in Western New York. Did some schooling in Boston, did about 10 years there, about 10 years in Manhattan, and now we're here in Philly.
Where did you go to college?
I went to college. I had a previous life. I went to college. I did, if you can imagine. I went to college at Emerson College in Boston.
Sure.
Performing Arts and Communications School, great school. I have a BFA from that school. I spent many years as an actor. And
you have a rich father.
I wish. That's why I'm no longer an actor, because I don't have a rich father, and so I'm out, and I like to say that I'm reformed. I got out, and I had a bunch of great years. I started acting when I was a kid, and did it for a bunch of years, and then woke up one day and decided I've done that, and so what else is next? And at that same time, I had become acquainted with New York Restoration Project. We were starting a major program in New York, working with the Bloomberg administration called Million Trees NYC, planting 1 million trees in New York City. And they were just looking for people who could walk and talk. They were doubling the size of staff and budget.
They were looking for someone who could walk and talk quickly, obviously.
Quickly, yeah, and that's me. So, and so a lot of moving over to corporate sponsorships and marketing. There were a lot of talents that I had in my previous work that I could bring over to this, and I kind of like selling this product versus selling myself.
Okay, we're going to come back and learn more about Jimmy Owens after these messages.
The major holidays are almost upon us. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, and New Year's. Are you prepared for your holiday party events and other needs? Call Whims for Rent. They are a professional event planning company and can package your entire business or personal holiday event, or simply provide specific needs. They provide entertainment such as DJs or three-piece bands, Christmas carol choirs, or even Santa Claus. Other entertainment possibilities include walk-around magicians, fortune tellers, or look-alike celebrities. They aid large corporate events, smaller business attractions, and family affairs. Just tell them your goals. For a free consultation and free ideas, contact Whims for Rent at 484-562-0067. Again, that's 484-562-0067. They are located at 29 Bala Ave in Bala Cynwyd, Pennsylvania, or visit them on the web at www.phillybizmedia.com.
The internet today is a must for businesses and organizations to represent themselves. A must. For the generations of business owners who did not have the advantage of an internet education beginning in grade school, there is basic help. Call American Advertising Services at 484-562-0060. Our organization of marketing personnel, traditional and IT, will set up basic internet advertising aids for your business or organization at a modest fee. Basics. No big deals, no big costs, just basics. Plus a free get-to-know-your-goals meeting. Call American Advertising Services at 484-562-0060. That's 484-562-0060. Be with it, or else you will be out of it. Again, call American Advertising Services at 484-562-0060.
Need a speaker for your business meeting, organization, social group? Need a speaker who is entertaining, informative, or both? Need a speaker who is an authority on a subject close to your interests? We provide them. We are this region's Speakers Bureau. Call us at 484-562-0067. 484-562-0067.
St. Joseph's University is committed to developing everyday champions to help ensure student-athletes prepare for personal and professional challenges they will face throughout their lives. They want great athletes, but more than that, they want great people, young men and women, to excel as students, teammates, leaders on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. Your passion and support of St. Joseph's student-athletes make the difference. By making a gift to the Hawk Athletic Fund this year, you help in developing everyday champions. For more information or to make a gift, visit SJUHawks.com/champions.
Welcome back to the Marketing of Business. This is your host, Bonnie Squires. We're coming to you from WWDB Studios in Ballackinwood. That's 860 on your AM dial. And our sponsor is ACT, Advertising Communication Times. That's the region's newspaper that tells you everything you need to know about advertising and public relations. And speaking of advertising and public relations, we have with us our guest today in the studio, Jimmy Owens, who's the Vice President for Business Development of the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society. That's such a mouthful.
It is.
But they bring us every year the Philadelphia Flower Show, which is the world's largest indoor flower show. I learned that a long time ago.
It's
right,
true.
Jimmy?
That's true. That's true. And I was just actually saying that it's one of the largest annual events in the United States. It's one of the top 10. And can you guess what the top one is? The largest annual event in the United States.
Macy's Parade?
No. It's the Texas Rodeo.
The
which you would
Texas
never,
Rodeo.
Yeah, it's the largest annual event.
Whoopee-hi-yay-oh.
I know.
What do cowboys say?
I don't know. I don't even know.
What they say either.
But we are the largest horticultural event really on the planet, and one of the top 5, any given year. But and as part, you said Pennsylvania Horticultural Society is a mouthful, and it is. So we've gone through a rebranding. PHS is really what we're trying to put out there, and we've been using that for a while. But
you still have to translate what PHS stands for.
That's true. That's true, and that's always going to be something. And for us too, I think when you talk about marketing, a big challenge is letting people know that the flower show is produced by PHS, and PHS is a nonprofit, and the flower show is our biggest fundraiser that allows us to do the programming we do throughout the year. So that's always a huge push for us from a marketing point of view, I think, to give ourselves that credit. And
it's always amazing to me when I go to the members preview that you've got camera crews from Japan, from Finland, from Ireland, from Africa. I mean, they come from everywhere.
They come from everywhere.
It's an international sensation.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's true, as well as the guests. So we do at any given year average of 250,000 people in a 9-day period, which is huge, and clearly is the biggest event for the region. And people come from, I think it's about 10 different countries, all over everywhere, and the media as well. So it is an international event, really.
One of my favorite events was, because je parle français, I speak French, I love things French, was Springtime in Paris. Mm-hmm. What a hit that was, with that unbelievable model of the bottom third of the Eiffel Tower, which was like the exact dimensions of the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And that's like, so you say the Eiffel Tower. I mean, I think the thing too that Drew, our current president, has been trying to do is the flower show has to change, and it has to shift, and there has to be wow, and there has to be new. PHS is 187 years old. The flower show is 185 years old. So that's a long time. It's changed a lot, but to create that wow and that also the interactive experience. And so last year was Britain, and we had the Big Ben was the centerpiece, the central feature that we call it. This year's show, if I can is called, the name of it is articulture, and it's a word that we made up. Don't try to look it up. But
I love it. Tying in art museums.
Exactly, tying in art museums.
Even the Barnes Foundation, even though we just found out that Derek Gilman is trading in his paint palette for his professor's robe at Drexel University.
Yeah, which is a loss for the Barnes, but
it's a big loss for the Barnes.
Yeah,
but a big gain for Drexel University.
Absolutely.
And I can't wait to see what his next career is going to be, because I can't believe that visiting professor is going to be his last position.
I don't think so.
Not when you look at all the international experience he's had. And especially his Chinese background,
which I read about today, which I didn't really even know.
I've known Derek for a long time. His daughters go to school in Scotland with my next door neighbor's son, and they're friends. So I get reports.
So you get the secret updates.
Yes.
Okay. Well, he's been great, and all the museums. And so, like I said, the theme of the show this year is articulture, and so really it's where art meets horticulture. And we were doing some events last year. We're always talking about what the theme is, and we came to the place of art and horticulture really are in the same. So those who are interested in art are also interested in horticulture.
Well, we're going to hear more about the. We have more time. Oh, good.
Great.
Drew made one major change, which was to extend the time period from 8 days to 9 days, which gave you 2 weekends entirely instead of just one, which I thought was a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
And so next year, the opening gala will be on Friday, March 1st.
It's actually February 28th. It's that leap year.
February 28th.
It's that leap year thing.
It's
always
leap
messes
year.
with us. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's leap year. Maybe it's not. I don't know, but I know it's on. I
don't know. I have to get out my Sadie Hawkins costume.
There you go. There you go. Okay, only once every 4 years. Okay, so it's the 28th is the preview event, but on the 1st of March is when the show opens. So it's the March 1st through March 9th. But yes, like you said, it's 2 full weekends, and for us and also for our guests, that's been a huge success. The show is a huge economic, generator for the city. It's about $62 million in revenue to the city. About 25,000 hotel rooms. Restaurants are thrilled by the business.
The Convention and Visitors Bureau loves the flower show.
Absolutely. So it's huge. And so to offer 2 full weekends, it gives those coming from out of town an opportunity to see everything else that Philadelphia has to offer. And now, this year that we're partnering with all these great art institutions, we're doing a lot of ticket packages with the Museum of Art, with the Barnes, with PAFA, and so people will be able to come in and buy a package, go to the flower show one day, go to the Museum of Art the next day.
The restaurants usually design special menus for the week of the flower show also.
Yeah, they do.
Which is a neat idea, absolutely.
Yes.
And there's so many things that are tied into the 9 days, not the week anymore, the 9 days of flower show, that it's really astonishing. And universities get in on it too, because they always exhibit. I started Temple University's presence in the show. I was running the Temple University Centennial Celebration, and I said, well, if we want to make a hit with a lot of people, and I got the Temple's Ambler Horticulture School involved, and they did a Japanese exhibit. I got, that time, John Wanamaker's to donate all these antique Japanese stone fountains and bridges and things, and they win a prize every year.
Yeah, and they're still involved. Yeah, and they're a great
there are high
partner.
schools that are involved.
Absolutely.
I live in Lower Merion, so I always look for the Lower Merion exhibit.
Okay, and they're there.
And they win some kind of a silver something or other.
Of course.
Every year.
Well, it's Lower Merion. How could we not? Absolutely. And that's what's great about the show, too. And for our sponsors. And so we were talking before about, for many years, what's interesting about PHS is that for so many years, it's such an old organization that the money was primarily government money, was primarily individuals. But we've moved, as the government money has dried up a little bit, we've moved a lot closer to our corporate partners just here in the city, but also nationally.
Well, PNC for 20 years was the prime sponsor.
That's right.
That's an amazing record for any corporation.
It is.
And fortunately for PHS, Subaru stepped up to the plate.
That's right.
They're the major sponsor.
That's right.
And Bank of America.
Yep. And they've both been incredible. Subaru's been with the show now for 12 years, and they're a premier sponsor, and they do incredible exhibits. They integrate really, really well, really creatively.
And they always have interesting automobiles on display with a garden around it, too.
That they do, yeah.
Anyway, we're going to stop for these messages, and then we'll be back with Jimmy Owens from PHS.
All American Sports Collectibles is the only place you need to know for all your autographed sports memorabilia. Jerseys, bats, helmets, and more, signed by legends of the past and today's greats. All autographed items come with a certificate of authenticity, plus an unconditional 30-day money-back guarantee. And all vintage items have been scientifically authenticated and come with 2 forensic certificates. Call us at 877-827-7822. That's 877-827-7822. Visit us online to see our extensive inventory of autographed sports memorabilia. That's aasportscollectibles.com. That's aasportscollectibles.com.
We're a Philadelphia advertising agency, American Advertising Services, and our job is to create solutions for your business problems. Do you want more customers, more sales for your products or business services? American Advertising has helped many, many area companies, large ones, small ones, family-owned firms just like yours. If you are in business and serious, make American Advertising your advertising agency. Per job assignments welcomed. American Advertising Services. We are serious about helping your business.
American Advertising Services is located at 29 Bala Avenue, Bala Cynwyd, PA 19004. 29 Bala Avenue, Bala Cynwyd, PA 19004. You can call them at 484-562-0060, 484-562-0060, 484-562-0060.
Welcome back to the Marketing of Business. We're coming to you from WWDB Studios in Bala Cynwyd, 860 on the AM dial. This is Bonnie Squires, your host, and our sponsor is ACT, the region's business-to-business newspaper, which tells you everything you need to know about advertising and communications. Our guest today has been Jimmy Owens, the Vice President for Business Development of PHS, that's the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society, and we've been talking about the upcoming Philadelphia Flower Show, which is an international sensation. And this year it's going to be Articulture, and the museums that are going to be attached to this exhibit.
Great museum. So we have all of our great museums here in Philadelphia, Museum of Art, the Barnes, PAFA. We're working with some of the schools here, the art schools, more, Philadelphia University, and then we're also going throughout the country. So we're going to have the Guggenheim from New York, the Brooklyn Museum of Art. We're going to be working with the Smithsonian Portrait Gallery, the Getty Museum in Los Angeles. And so,
what about the Hirshhorn?
I don't know that museum.
You don't know the Hirshhorn Museum?
No.
In Washington, D.C.?
No.
Oh, you've had a deprived childhood.
Yeah,
okay,
no,
keep going.
It's terrible. My parents. And so the idea is to take, so when you come into the flower show, there's all those main major exhibits there around the central feature, the big wow exhibits. We're pairing each one of those exhibitors that are international award-winning exhibitors with one of these museums. So they are using either collections of art, a specific piece of art, the landscape, the building, whatever strikes them to inspire their exhibits this year. We think it's going to be really special and really creative, and also it's a great way to tie in the membership bases of all these other great art institutions.
Mark your calendars now, people. February 28th of 2014 is the big opening VIP gala where the sponsors and people that pay a hefty price for tickets get to come and have a cocktail party and dinner party right in the middle of the flower show.
In the middle of the flower show. So for years it was up in a ballroom somewhere in the convention center, and Drew said no, absolutely not. Anybody can go sit in a ballroom and have rubber chicken. So we decided to...
And the food's fabulous, by the way.
The food's very good. Done by Airmark, one of our huge partners and sponsor of ours. And so we now do it on the show floor. So You come, and there's food stations and bars. There'll be entertainment, and it's right there on the show floor. So you can come and experience it there, walk throughout the show, with just a few hundred people. And it's
so
a
you
great
really
event.
get to see the exhibits when you come to the VIP gala.
It's true.
And then there's a members day also. I think
That's right.
the next day, like half the day is for
Right.
members only, and it's not nearly so crowded because the minute the doors open to the general public, wow.
It's a lot.
incredible.
It's a lot.
Well, you get, 250,000 people that come through
That's right.
in the course of
It
9
goes
days.
about 9 days. Yeah. So it's a huge event, and it is a lot of people. So that's the thing. We try to add some more stuff every year, but then we also hear, oh, it's so crowded. But, there are always times to come and see the show. And there's a lot of interactive, that we have a lot of studios on the show
When you
floor.
say interactive,
Yeah.
Drew brought with him a penchant for technology.
That's right.
And there's so many exhibits now that have a video screen
Yeah.
and a touch screen,
Yeah.
all kinds of technological things that go on, which is very exciting, which are destined to draw younger visitors.
Exactly
I'm
right.
sure that's the goal.
Exactly, it is. Absolutely. It always
And
is.
talk about the volunteers, because you can't put on a show of this mammoth proportion without how many thousands of volunteers?
We do. It's just under 4,000 volunteers. So, PHS works with about maybe 6,000 volunteers throughout the year, and 4,000 of them are just at the flower show. And we can't do anything at the show without them.
The garden clubs
Yeah.
are among those who support the flower show. And I used to have an 8th grade history, Ms. Dubler, who always did dried flower paintings. I mean, how they have the patience to dry all these flowers, put them together, and make it look like an impressionist painting.
It's amazing.
It's
and we
astonishing.
do stuff like that. So that's the other thing about the show is that there's the new stuff, like you say, the technology and the new and the wow, and there's a lot of interactive stuff going on at the show. But also there's what the show used to be. I mean, the show originally was just people bringing their plants, and it was like blue ribbon for plants. And so that is still part of the show. It's called the Horticourt. And so we
have to mention Dodo Hamilton, who generously endowed the Horticourt.
Yes, and so it's the Hamilton Horticourt.
And it's much, much easier to see the orchids and all the blooming plants and so on. And almost every category has a blue ribbon for Dodo Hamilton's piece. You notice that?
That's true. And now for this year,
but
the first year,
she earns it. She earns
does,
it,
and she does. But actually, this year, for the first year ever, she's not competing. Her plants are not
kidding.
in. So, of course, everyone is thrilled that Mrs. Hamilton's plants aren't there because they might have a shot now to actually win something. But she's not. She'll support it, and she'll be there, I think. But for the first year, she's not.
I wonder what made her decide.
I think she's starting to just take a step back from some of that. She's still very involved in PHS and the work that we do.
Yes.
But she's taking a step back. So, like I said, people are very thrilled that they might have a shot at a blue ribbon this year.
You talked about year-round.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they know about the flower show because you're deluged with impressions and information, and you partner with a TV station,
right.
And it's all over everything. And the Inquirer prints a special supplement, and every suburban newspaper prints a supplement.
Right.
But people may not realize that all year long you're doing things. You started the pop-up gardens. I guess that was Drew's idea.
That's right.
And what are some of the other things? Philadelphia Green?
Yep, Philadelphia Green program, which really started in the 70s, and that's where we really started to work on what we referred to as our civic landscape. So we took Logan Circle from what it was, which was not much to speak of or look at, and turned it into what it is today, which is absolutely gorgeous. So it's kind of those gateways to the city, the entire Parkway, the 28th Street, coming in from the airport. So this is the work that we do throughout the year, and this is like I said earlier, the flower show is PHS's biggest fundraiser, clearly. And so we have our tree planting program, Plant 1 Million. We're planting 1 million trees in the city. Our city harvest program, we feed 1,200 families per week during the growing seasons from our community gardens throughout the city.
You also have, I know at one point in time, one of my clients was Atria, a senior apartment living, and they had a garden terrace, and they entered a contest for the best, flower boxes and the best plants and the best vegetables.
Yep.
And they loved it
and we still
when the
do
judges came. And the judges are very important, and they're all volunteers. They
Absolutely.
don't get paid.
Absolutely, yeah.
I would love to judge the little miniature displays
That's
behind
my favorite
glass.
stuff. And I'll try to get
That's my
Jen,
favorite
Bonnie.
thing
Yeah.
too. It's my favorite thing
It's nutty
too.
stuff. It's my favorite. But I do also want to say that all like the technology that leads me to Flower Show tickets are on sale now, so you can go and get your Flower Show tickets. Already, absolutely.
Ooh.
And packages with our museum partners are already available, and group sales. All of this is available on the website, and that's theflowershow.com.
Again, theflowershow.com.
Yes.
Is there a phone number people can call if they want more information?
They can call 215-988
8888.
That's my direct number. You can just call me. Call me and I'll put you in touch with
Everybody,
the right
call
person.
Jimmy
Call
at 215-988-8888.
Indeed.
And if he's tied up, he'll get somebody
there's
else,
plenty of
maybe
people.
Lisa Stefano.
Absolutely.
Or
She'd be
Alan
happy.
Jaffe to talk to you.
There's a full team.
And you welcome groups, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Is
We
there
do a lot of group
discount
sale.
a discount
There
for
is
groups?
a discount for over a certain number of tickets. There is a discount for groups as well. And we do a lot of group sales for the Flower Show.
And there's always a special a place where they have like cooking demonstrations and flower cutting demonstrations.
Yeah, we have the designer studio, which is flower arranging demonstrations. We have the garden to table studio, which will be cooking demonstrations throughout the show. We have the gardener studio, which is garden. This is all on the show floor. But then throughout the rest of the convention center, there are different sort of experiential. The make and take room, which was huge for us last year. We could go in. Last year was a British theme. People made fascinators and they walked throughout the show floor. We had
those funny little hats that the English aristocracy wear on their heads.
And we did like 60,000 of them, in a couple of days. And so there's the PLCB does a wine tasting every day. I mean, it's a full day, and there's also a whole lot for the family to do as well.
And at night too.
And at night we have many theme nights. Yep, we have our girls' night out, we have our LGBT night, and we also have our wedding Wednesdays. And these are all theme nights.
When
all
Jamie
available on the
Rothstein
website.
held her wedding in her exhibit, which was a duplicate in flowers of the Versailles Hall of Mirrors. Oh, was that
Amazing.
astonishing?
Well, we're doing a live wedding. We're also doing a live wedding at the show through Philadelphia Magazine partnership. We're doing a live wedding this year as well. There's plenty
we could
to
talk
do.
forever. Thank you, Jimmy Owens.
Thank you.
And we'll see everybody at the Flower Show starting next March 1st.